Let's see if we can get a theme song going here. This is my Linda's piano. We're gonna try. I think I'm doing this after doing the video. I haven't actually loaded it yet, but we need a theme song. Like. Right side did rain. Right side. Right side did rain. Perfect. So, thinking of starting this. I'm not sure the point of it or what we'll talk about. I will say, and it's not just because of the beard, but I will say that I was very inspired by that show on HBO the series just ended called Painting with John. I forget his last name. He was just amazing. An artist, former actor, jazz musician. And he just talked and did his art. So I will say that was inspiring. And he looked like a very near future me talking. So, forget his name. I'm sorry. I'll look it up. So I'm thinking of doing a couple things. Again, the point of this, I don't know. I just feel inspired to do it. This will be a video. I'll make it into a podcast. You just won't be able to see whatever it is I'm showing you if I'm showing you something. Talk about writing, talk about faith, talk about family. Like in the meantime, while I'm talking now, I mean, I have a 2-year-old Foster just rolling around on the rug over here, while Linda, my wife, is off to work. I can't show you Emil because you're not supposed to publicly video foster children, but he's a good kid. Just a lot of energy, right? And he's climbing up on me right now, and I have a hot coffee. Okay. So anyway, I will come back in a second. Is this a meal?
Mim.
Say a meal.
Mim.
Say Papa Dan. Is that me? Who am I? Who am I?
Mim.
Don't hit the buttons. That's a meal. You don't have to touch everything. Okay? You can see right here. You can see right here. Later, that same day, it's a hot one. But I mean, look behind me. It's a beautiful day. Emil's caseworker is on the porch talking to Linda. I'm here watching Emil, make sure he's okay. Elias is watching a horrifying cartoon about cartoon cat. Anyway, I thought of something I want to do. Everything, and it's going to go. We're going to go take later on when we get inside. I'm going to take a look at my little curio cabinet. We've got a bunch of stuff in there. Each thing in there means something. So, and then I'll do one more thing. Talk about writing or something art related. Talk about a memory. Talk about life. And we'll come back. So anyway, Emil's here. Got his hand on my leg like he wants to say something. So, 1 minute, little guy. And I will. Talk to you all in a minute. Same spot. It's a little later, a couple of hours. I decided to come back because I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can see the sky. Yeah, it's a little hazy right now, but it was blue. The background noise is a little different too. My son Elias and my nieces Olivia and Riley are in the pool on the other side of that fence. I gotta say, it's just moments like this where I kind of say, God's been good. He's been good. I know Georgia. I know this is Georgia, by the way. And start introducing the cast of characters here. Say hi, Georgia. That's Georgia. She's 10. Yes. A loving Labrador. But I mean, I am, stop it. Okay, stop. I know. You can't love a Labrador enough. They just need more. They're very needy. They're loving. You just chill. I'm doing a thing here. Daddy's doing a thing. Well, I don't know where I live. Look around. I'm not motivated an individual enough to do all this on my own. So, without some divine intervention. I don't know how this even is going to sound. I'm doing this on a phone. And again, I'm going to go in. Linda just took Emil down to the Y. I'm going to bring the kids down to the YMCA. I'm going to bring them down a little later. because they have karate class. Elias and Olivia are white belts with yellow stripes. So that's always a good thing. Andrew, my oldest, hey Andrew, he finished right before high school, right before he started college. He and his friend John got their black belt. So that was a big driving factor back in, I don't even remember how long ago that was. That was 2010, I believe. 2010. Anyway, enough of this. I'm just really enjoying it outside here. I'm going to jump inside and going to talk about what I'm working on, and let's take a peek into the curio cabinet. I don't know where to look here. This is where I think where the camera is here, right there. So I should look. I should look right there. Let's go to the curio cabinet and see what I'm working on. Inside for a second, just going to talk about what I'm working on. There's a project. There's actually 3 things I'm working on. A sequel to Plague of Locusts. That book, long story, but it's at an editor's desk right now. But we'll see what's going to happen with that. Might just independent publish it if Baen Books doesn't get back to me soon. Working on a new project I'm calling the Psalms Project, which is, it's pretty awesome. I love it. I don't want to talk much about it right now, so it's still in process. This is the other thing I'm finishing up. It's called The Photograph. It's a book, Dave Hillman, a friend of mine. He's wanted to write a book, and he wanted to do it for his daughters. And he had the opening couple chapters. And he just asked me, out of the blue one day, he said, "Can you finish it for me?" I'm like, because he's never written before. So, for various reasons, I said, yeah, why not? So I wrote it. And actually, I've been working on getting it put out, but I read through it, and this isn't the final cover. I mean, it totally doesn't line up and everything. And I found a lot of, if you look at here, so when you came in, I started reading it, and I was like, oh my word, there's so many typos or just better ways I could phrase things that I said I got to read through this one time and clean it up, make it read better. And then we'll publish it, put it out for him. It's a young adult novel, middle grade. It's actually pretty cool. So when it's out, I'll let you know. I'll put the feelers out there. All right, last piece. Behind me is, actually I should explain this where I am here. This is a little foyer. This is kind of what we call the art gallery. This just has some paintings of mine, of Linda's, of my sisters, of some good friends, my family. So that's just a practice one I did when I was learning to paint at the art gallery. That's a picture that Audrey took. We had mounted and framed. That picture there is from New Hampshire from, what's the year? 1987. My sister Ellen painted that. And I think that's pretty cool. That's one of my last Bob Ross style paintings. And this is a painting I did for Linda called Linda's Sunrise. This is just something she had one time when we got married. I'm not going to go through all the pictures now. We'll pick up where we left off with Donna's painting. But right now I want to point at this thing. It's my little curio cabinet. That's a painting by my friend Bill Howard. No, this is Jimmy Duddy. That's my Uncle Jimmy. Again, we'll get into other paintings next time. Let's pick something out of here. To have in here, it's just stuff that has some special meaning and for different reasons. And I want to get it out of the way. It just sort of became my little, interesting memory thing. So we might as well we'll just start. We'll do the first one today. Here, this is a cassette. It's Mark Isham's film music, which I don't think you can even get anymore. Mark Isham is an amazing instrumentalist, composer, and he does a lot of soundtracks. So this one, aside from I love the cover, it just has some special meaning. I had just moved out. I'm going to put it back here. There we go. I had just moved to Worcester from home. I graduated college. This was back in 1985. Yeah, that's why there's gray here. And Stephen, my cousin, Stephen Leahy. I had a special place in my heart for Steve, and I still do. We don't talk much, but he's I've always kind of looked up to him, always kind of respected him. He was at one point thinking about being a writer, and he's just, I don't know, he's just cool. You're just a cool dude, Steve. I've always had this. I'm gonna walk my own drum. I have a lot of cousins like that. I got the I got the coolest extended family you could think of. Well, maybe we'll talk about them now and then. Because actually, coming up, there's a little trinket in there that might talk about my family a little more. Because it's an heirloom, sort of, so to speak. But Steve gave me that out of the blue, and I forget what prompted it, but he sent me that cassette and something else. Now I'm kind of blanking. I forget what it was, but I listened to it and I was like, wow. I was at the time I had just moved out to Worcester, living with my sister Ellen. And I had all these big dreams, I finally got a job, finally out of college at State Mutual. I'm going to be a programmer. And he just said, oh, check it out. And I played it. And I remember playing it, and I remember and I wanted to be a writer. I hadn't actually started that process yet of pursuing the dream, so to speak. But I took a class not long after on creative writing, and that's where I met my friend Fran Bellerive. We became writer friends for ages. And I would play that cassette, and I had this image in my head, clear as a bell. I sort of would veg out, listen, and I wrote these scenes about rain coming down and kids in school and the school buses lumbering up the road. And I still think of that. I mean, I have this entire story, which doesn't really have a plot, but it's just a scene, kind of like a lot of New Yorker type stories, I guess. Only, of course, it was written much less well. But now and then you can't find it. I found it on eBay. I found a CD version of it, and but I would still listen to it. And it just puts me in a mood. It puts me in a. It's one of those few inspirational things that I can always go to now and then. And it sort of sets my mind aright. Another one is Ray Bradbury's Zen and the Art of Writing. Stuff like that. But anyway, it was a gift that was unique, and it was uniquely mine. It was from Steve, and it was one of the first things I actually got in that time where I was out on my own finally. But we all have things like that just sort of we go back to remember. Behind me there, that's a painting I started, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to erase it all. And I'm painting a restaurant called it's Captain Bob's. It's at the end of my road. It's I thought they were going to tear it down. It's kind of a landmark in my town. Looks like they're not. I don't think they're open or serving anything, but they're still there. And he's still yelling at the traffic. And I wanted to make a painting of it, but the perspective was wrong, so I did a zoom in. I'm going to make it closer up, and I would have had to start it over anyway because Emil, our 2-year-old foster, just painted purple all over the front of it, because why not? So that's it. First rendition, quiet rambling of just talking. I think I'm going to try to play the guitar and just I can't play the guitar, by the way, so don't think I can do that. But I'm going to try to see if spirit will move me to play a few chords that aren't horrible, and that'll be the theme song for whatever I'm going to call this. I used to call my blog, when I started out in my new phase of life in central Massachusetts, The Right Side of Dan's Brain. Well, the right side of Dan Cohane's brain. I think I called the blog The Right Side of Dan's Brain. I kind of like that. And since my life is going to a major change in a couple weeks, which I haven't talked about yet, I'm going to write something up for the blog too. Seems fitting I bring that back. So, again, I'm looking in the wrong spot. Maybe if I do this. Am I upside down now? I don't know. There's my nieces going swimming, and my son swimming in that pool. Yeah, look at that pool. I mean, God is good. All right, that's it. I'm going to spin around while I sign you off.